watching DigiMusk. My name is Kasturi, and just in case if you don't know me yet, I have introduced myself briefly in the first video. So I would ask you to go and watch my first video, and the link I have given in the description. Also, I will introduce myself briefly in the description of this video. And if you're new to my channel and are not subscribed yet, I would ask you to please subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the bell button at the top to receive the notification on time. It will help you to receive the notification as soon as I publish a new video. So I've been an entrepreneur in the past, and even in my current role being a digital marketer, I keep on testing out applications and keep on providing critical feedbacks, because that is actually needed by the product manager to validate the product. So in this video, I am going to list out 5 important questions that a product manager should ask in order to validate the product. I have a list of about 20 questions so far, but that is listed out in one of the articles that I published long back on medium.com. And from those 20 questions that I've listed over there, I thought that I will pick 5 important ones which actually makes a big difference during the beta stage of any application. So I have heard in the startup community very often and the requests to actually test out the products because once they are in the beta stage, they would like to validate the product just in case if their product has any shortcomings or if it is ready to be launched. So here you will find out 5 most important questions that a product manager should ask their team or even themselves to understand if the product is ready to go and ready to be launched. So this is coming from my own experience, where I have tested about 50+ odd applications in different domains, including fintech, automobile, FMCG, e-commerce, and so on. And I did not want to make this video a very unidirectional, so I thought that let's take an example of a case study. And here I have chosen Instagram app as a case study because it will help you understand how actually a product should be, because it would be a good benchmark as it has a wider audience so far. And also it is not in the beta stage right now. It has actually crossed that stage and definitely will be a good benchmark. So without delaying much, let's jump on to the 5 most important questions that a product manager should ask. Alright, so first question: whether your product is a good to have or need to have. So let's take the example of Instagram. Long back ago, when Instagram was just launched around 2010, even till 2014, just in case if you did not have the Instagram application on your phone, you were not missing out on something. So at that point of time, it was good to have an application on your phone. But right now, with its wider user base, with its retention, in case if you don't have the application on your phone, you will be having the sentiment of FOMO, that is fear of missing out, and you can't actually afford to uninstall the app. There are multiple advertisers, journalists, media people, then podcasters, bloggers, and the general users who keep on using Instagram on a daily basis, and they actually cannot afford to uninstall the app. So what I mean to say is, if you're in the beta stage currently, you need to definitely ask yourself and the team whether whatever the service or the solution that you're trying to build, whether it is a good to have for the users, end users, or whether it is need to have. And I'd ask you to channelize your energy to make it as a need to have, because if your product is a need to have, then it would have a forever retention unless and until any new competitor hits the market. Alright, so the second question is how easy to use your product is. So let's take the example of Instagram. If I had to upload the story or a reel, which is a new feature addition to Instagram, and every time I was asked to upload a form or to upload my information over there just to post a story, I will not invest much of my time over there and I may drop off, right? Because who would actually wait for so long time to just input the information and then jump on to posting the story or posting a reel over there? So the key point over here is how minimal touch points that a product has, because the minimal you keep, it will be easier for people to navigate. Taking the example of Instagram, it's pretty much easy to use. It's smooth. You don't need to actually learn it from your family and friends. You can actually learn it yourself. So it is basically a DIY, do it yourself and learn it yourself, and you can easily navigate and learn all the features that it has. You don't even need to reach out to the customer support to understand how any feature would work, right? So the answer to this question, or you should ask yourself that whether your product has minimal touch points and whether your end users can jump off to the value easily. Alright, so the third question is how fast your product is, and this is actually a gem. So if you're taking a very long time, or if your product, not you, but basically if your product is taking a very long time, why should I actually stay for you? I may figure out any other application, or I may actually find out any alternative offline to do the same, right? Or to have the same solution, or to have the same service. If you see Instagram, it's super fast. You scroll, you refresh, and boom, you're on a new post or a new reel or a new story, right? And imagine if I have to refresh multiple times just to see a new feature or a new post over there, I may drop off, right? Okay, so the key over here is make your product fast enough for a user to get the value. All right, so the fourth question is, how does a product reward its users? And this one is actually the diamond. Does your product save their time or make them feel smarter? Does it let them discover anything? Your value proposition should come out really strongly, and you should not be in a position to market your value proposition. So basically the user should self-acknowledge the value that you're trying to offer. So if I take the example of Instagram, it actually lets me discover a lot many things which I might not be knowing in case if I'm not on Instagram, right? And it makes me feel smarter, it makes me discover new things, and it keeps me engaged. So basically that's the value proposition for me, and that's a reward for me. What's your reward for your users? So this is the fifth and most important question for any product manager. How flexible is a product to make a pivot? So basically if you're in the initial stages of your product launch or your product development, and you're testing out the products with your initial set of audiences, initial set of subscribers, or initial set of people who have shown interest in your product, and down the lane, like 4 or 5 months, or even after a year, you realize that whatever your initial vision was, that's not working. Instead, people are actually finding out a different value or a different angle from your value proposition. So how flexibly you can adopt to that value addition? Would you be considering to add that feature or to make a complete change in your product, or would you actually be thinking of continuing with your initial vision? I would actually recommend that you need to be open to your audience's voice, and this is actually important because they are going to be the end user. So if your initial vision is not working for them, you should be flexible enough to adopt the new features, to adopt the new value proposition that can reward your users. So let's take an example of Instagram. So they had started with the post feature, where you can actually make a post and write some little description over there and hashtags and also. And recently they have added multiple features. So you'd see stories over there, you'd see reels over there, you'd see IGTV over there, and they did not hesitate to add those features. While they have not made a complete pivot, they had not actually changed the product, but they were open enough to understand what the value addition for users would be, and they are actually rewarding the users with multiple new feature additions and keeping them hooked up on the app. So basically you also need to be very flexible enough and keep your eyes open and keep your ears open to understand what your users would need, and be flexible enough to make a pivot. I'm sure you must be having a system in your place to take the feedback from your subscribers or initial set of audiences. But I thought that all these 5 important questions that I've listed out here could be a good value addition to whatever repository that you have. And just in case if you'd be interested in learning about the rest of the 15 questions, the kind of 20 list that I have, I will actually link that article in the description below, so you can go and check it out as well. Being a storyteller, a digital marketer, a product manager, an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call me, my journey has been to ask the right questions to validate the true value of a service or a product. I've been part of multiple different domains. As I told you before, FMCG, FinTech, I have tested on multiple applications, and I see that these set of 20 questions actually fit into each domain, because these are very standard questions, and if you want to actually narrow it down further, you can definitely do. And I trust that you would be having a system and process in place, but these standard 20 questions I believe would be definitely a great value addition to you. And most importantly, the 5 questions that I have listed just now, let me know in the comments below, just in case if that was of any value to you. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and tell your friends and community about the new channel that I have just launched. Thank you so much. I will see you soon in the next video.